What is actually happening between Kirk Frost and young Jock? It's official. Young Jock just sent Kirk Frost a legal notice and things are about to get messy. I mean, can you imagine that these two were close friends who would be seen everywhere? Together, supporting one another? Now that we're talking about lawyers' courtrooms and a friendship that is going to go south faster than you can say bad decision, what in the world could make two grown men go from being friends to legal enemies? Is it just a small argument over a misunderstanding, or is there something wrong? Kendra, the person we've all been hearing about lately, has made some extremely explosive claims that could be the catalyst for this whole feud. Now Jock is hitting Kirk with a legal bombshell that nobody saw coming. You're probably thinking, this can't be real, this can't be happening. But trust me, it's all happening right now. The question is, however, how far will go? Will it permanently destroy Jock and Kirk's friendship? Or is this just the start of something even more bizarre? Hold on a minute. The streets have been ablaze, and it's not just about the next big hit. No, we're talking about something far more juicy than any chart-topping hit. Yes, young Jock and Kirk Frost are at each other's throats right now, and it's creating waves that even the most ardent hip-hop fans are finding difficult to follow. Let's break it down and let's go back a little because nothing in this crazy world of hip-hop happens without warning. These two were once close, best buddy style, and have shared stages, performed together, appeared on numerous TV shows, and Built It didn't take a genius to realize that these guys were basically the hip-hop equivalent of Batman and Robin. However, it turns out that not all superhero teams are destined to last. Enter Kendra, the woman who seems to have the power to finally break it all apart. Kendra's name has been making the rounds in the media for a while now, and not in the best way. For those of you who might have been living under a rock, a brief recap of what many believe to be an unbreakable bond is that she is a name that has come up in some extremely contentious discussions about young Jock. We're talking about explosive claims that have painted her in a negative light, and let's just say that she's been stirring things up for months. But how does she relate to this mess with Kirk? You guessed it. Kendra may be the reason why Jock and Kirk's friendship has gone from strong to a ticking time bomb. I'm not talking about small, unimportant accusations, though. I'm talking about claims that are enough to leave anyone speechless. Kendra doesn't seem to be holding back, as it has been. The real drama begins when Kendra begins to make serious accusations against Kirk Frost, the man who has been playing alongside Jock for years, accusing him of shady dealings, sketchy behavior, and basically doing whatever he can to stay in the game at any cost. As they say, what happens in the shadows always comes to light, so what does that have to do with young Jock? Well, Jock is no stranger to drama himself, but he has always been loyal to his friends. The problem here is that he's caught in the middle of it all. You see, when the accusations against Kirk began to mount, Jock remained silent at first. Kirk and Jock have been close for a long time, and Jock didn't want to think anything negative about his son. But when the floodgates opened and more rumors about Kirk's alleged backdoor dealings began to circulate, Jock couldn't just sit back and ignore it. What's a guy to do when he's faced with the choice between standing by his friend and doing what's right for young Jock that would change? He finally pulled the trigger and sent Kirk Frost a legal notice. Yes, you heard that right. Young Jock took it to court to make it clear that things weren't going to go down quietly. The legal notice is a big deal in and of itself, especially when you consider the fallout it could cause. But this is where it gets even more bizarre. Jock wasn't just trying to clear the air. He was making sure Kirk knew he was dead serious about this split. And let's not even get started on Kirk Frost's response, because that's a whole other can of worms that will only get worse. To make matters worse, some of you may be sitting there wondering, what's the big deal? Kirk and Jock are grown men, so why should we care if they're having a little drama? Well, that's where it gets juicy. These aren't just any two guys, they're two major players in the entertainment industry. Kirk Frost has built an empire through his years in the game, and young Jock is no stranger to the spotlight himself. So when two figures like this go head-to-head, it's bound to cause ripples. And right now, that ripple is a full-blown wave. However, don't take my word for it. Take a look at how Kirk, it's one thing to have your name dragged through the mud in the media, but it's quite another to have a close friend and business associate throw you under the legal bus. This is as personal as it gets, and you know this is going to hurt, especially with all the cameras rolling. If you think this drama is just a passing phase, you're mistaken. Kirk Frost is facing a public battle that he might not be able to win. headline-making scandal that could redefine the legacies of both Kirk Frost and young Jock. The more we learn about the specifics, the more we understand that it is not your typical feud. Rather, it's the kind of drama that has the potential to alter careers. Will Kirk Frost survive a legal battle with young Jock? Will their friendship ever be restored? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's most illustrious partnerships? Well, my friends, this is just the beginning. However, before we get into the juicy details of what's actually happening behind the scenes, let's take a moment to set the scene. Now that we've set the scene, it's time to get down to business. If you think this drama is just a small argument between two friends, think again. Frost and young Jock are now involved in a fight that could potentially destroy their careers. And let's not forget about Kendra, the woman at the center of the mess, whose accusations seem to have started it all. However, what's really happening behind the scenes is something you won't want to miss. Get your popcorn ready, because it is going to get real. We all know that young Jock and Kirk Frost had a strong bond, but the truth is that wasn't just a harmless business relationship. Rather, these two were all about making big moves, building empires, and working together on everything from music to reality TV. However, like everything in this world of glitz and glamour and dubious backdoor deals, it was inevitable that everything would fall apart eventually. So what's at the core of this scandal, simply? If you haven't followed Kendra's recent interviews and social media tirades, you'll know that she hasn't been shy about sharing her thoughts on the men who have been involved in her life, especially Kirk Frost. However, like any astute, self-preserving person, Kendra knew exactly when to start spilling the tea the moment she made the accusations and the legal battle that followed. For those who haven't caught up, where have you been? Kendra is basically the human grenade in this entire situation. She's not just a supporting character. Dropped the bomb about Kirk Frost. The world went crazy, according to anonymous sources. We can't confirm or deny our close friends because, let's face it, everyone has a friend who spills the beans. Kendra has been making some really bold claims, from shady money dealings to backdoor business, and she claims that Kirk has been playing both sides for a while. How far do we take these allegations? Well, let's say that Kendra might be right, but of course these aren't verified reports, right? Well, who's counting now? According to some leaked reports from what I can only describe as the most dubious sources on the internet, Kirk Frost's financial dealings are, let's say, under investigation. Now, this isn't some he's been caught in the cookie jar type of situation. No, we're talking about significant business partnerships, alleged hidden assets, and controversy surrounding Kirk and Jock's falling out. In fact, the more outrageous the claims, the quicker the public picks them up. And guess who's been soaking up all that drama? Jock had no idea about any of this, according to anonymous insiders close to the situation. And when he did find out, let's just say he wasn't happy. There have been some highly dubious purchases, things that make you wonder if maybe he's been living beyond his means. Apparently, Kirk has been trying to form alliances with high-level moguls while keeping a lot of his dealings hush-hush. If this were to ever come to light, it would leave many people scrambling to cover their tracks. Grinding with someone for years, building together, sharing the spotlight, but behind closed doors, they might be doing some shady stuff. How would you react exactly? That leads us to the legal notice that Jock sent to Kirk Frost. According to sources familiar with the situation, young Jock, who has been known to keep his cool and mind his business, took legal action because, let's face it, every story needs a mysterious insider. Jock felt that enough was enough, so he took legal action. This isn't just a slap on the wrist kind of notice, though. It's serious. Kirk Frost, being the seasoned businessman that he is, did not take kindly to this notice. According to sources, he has been on a warpath ever since he received it, threatening to countersue and asserting that Jock's accusations are unfounded and intended to destroy his career. Additionally, let's not forget the pressure Kirk is under from fans and other industry people. A cease and desist letter to Kirk Frost demands that he stop any potentially illegal financial activities and business dealings that could jeopardize Jock's reputation and the future of their brand. It's a PR nightmare that is only getting worse every day, but as the legal drama plays out, the public's response has been completely different. From Twitter tirades to Instagram stories with fans taking sides, Kirk Frost's supporters have come out strong, defending him against these unfounded accusations, saying that Kendra's accusations are a desperate attempt to garner attention, and that she is just envious of Jock and Kirk's long-standing friendship. Meanwhile, Jock's supporters, We have a divided fan base, but that's not all. Industry insiders who have witnessed the entire scandal said, under condition of anonymity, that it's only the beginning and that Kirk Frost's alleged shady dealings may be much deeper than anyone realizes. They have seen the patterns before, including risky investments, dubious financial dealings, and the kind of greed that makes you wonder if maybe Kirk got too comfortable for his own good. That could be the biggest scandal there is. In the hip-hop industry, if it turns out to be true, let's discuss the fallout because when something like this happens, the consequences are never pretty. If the allegations are true, and I'm not saying they are, we're talking about serious legal battles, possible jail time, and possibly the loss of Kirk and Jock's entire careers. That's right, these guys are facing a legal and public relations nightmare that could lead to complete collapse. Don't even consider the possibility that this drama will remain limited to the rap game. Mainstream media is covering it, and soon, everyone will be affected. The tension is evident. This isn't just a fight between friends. This is a war, and nobody knows how it will end at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the part of the story that will leave you stunned and wondering everything you thought you knew about the music industry. They won't be discussing the newest song or album release, but rather Kirk and Jock. The question now is who's going to win? Will Jock actually win this legal battle? Or will Kirk Frost somehow manage to weasel his way out of it as he's done before? The climax of the scandal was accusations and legal notices, but hold on tight because the fallout is about to hit harder than a bombshell in a tabloid. What comes next isn't just a simple apology or a few social media posts saying, "I'm sorry," because this is the kind of drama that alters careers, destroys reputations, and shakes the foundation of everything Kirk Frost and young Jock have built. Trust me, the consequences are severe, and we're going to go into the legal ramifications first. According to our anonymous sources, who may or may not have been drinking tea in the VIP section, Kirk Frost is considering filing a countersuit for defamation, arguing that Kendra's accusations are untrue and detrimental to his reputation. However, the Jock's legal team isn't backing down, and they're reportedly gathering evidence for a full-blown investigation. This isn't just a game of legal chicken, this is a war. Instagram posts, think again. That cease and desist letter from young Jock wasn't just a piece of paper, it was a warning shot across the bow. You can already hear the whispers of industry insiders, those silent figures who have been watching this whole thing unfold from the sidelines, and guess what they're saying? That Kirk Frost's career is seriously in jeopardy. After all, when you're dealing with these kinds of accusations, it's not just about the legal ramifications, it's about credibility. And right now, Kirk doesn't have much of it left. He might be able to survive this legal mess, but surviving the public backlash is a different beast. This whole situation isn't just about Kirk Frost's reputation. Young Jock's name is also at stake. Even though he's making an effort to disassociate himself from the controversy, the damage has already been done, and fans are already discussing it. Some say that Jock may be revealing the truth, while others say that he's just using it to improve his image. Let's face it, when you're dealing with a public dispute like this, there's no way to win cleanly. Everyone has something to lose. What does it mean for their business endeavors? Well, that's the next step. We've already seen some brands begin to distance themselves from the two out of concern that the negative publicity might damage their public image. In fact, it's rumored that Jock's major sponsorships have already begun to reconsider their partnerships. When you talk about men like Kirk Frost and young Jock, you're not just talking about rap careers. You're talking about business empires. However, because of the drama surrounding their relationship, that empire is on shaky ground. They both have side hustles, endorsements, and partnerships, and all of those are now up for grabs. What happened between Kirk Frost and young Jock could serve as a warning to others in the game, forcing them to reconsider how they manage their money, handle their relationships, and deal with any potential conflicts of interest. The fact that this scandal has exposed a glaring flaw in the way these stars do business and will have a ripple effect throughout the industry is the real kicker. But industry experts are now predicting a massive shift in how these types of business partnerships operate. As we watch this drama unfold, keep in mind that there is much more at stake than just some accusations and a legal notice. Careers, friendships, and entire businesses could collapse in the wake of this scandal. Will Jock and Kirk emerge unscathed? Will Kendra turn this into a career-defining moment? Or will they all find themselves at the bottom of the barrel trying to pick up the pieces? For better or worse, what do we take away from all of this? It's simple. Everything is in jeopardy. From Kirk Frost's empire to Jock's credibility and even Kendra's public persona. Fragments of what was once a golden partnership, but one thing is certain, the drama is far from over yet. We'll be here to break down every turn for you. If you're as shocked as I am, leave a comment below. Who do you think is at fault in this situation? Is Kendra the hero, or is she just stirring things up like this video? If you're eager to see what happens next, don't forget to subscribe for more breaking updates. We'll be closely monitoring the fallout, and you'll want to be here for it. Trust me. This is just the beginning. Foundation of the music industry, the drama between Kirk Frost, Young Jock, and Kendra is far from over. The legal battles, the public backlash, the shocking revelations, trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next, are all taking place right in front of our eyes. What do you think is right in this situation? Is Kendra merely exposing the truth? Or is she playing the game for her gain? Does Young Jock have a valid reason for sending that legal notice, or is he just trying to save face? Can Kirk Frost recover from this mess, or is his career officially over? Please share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Let's start a conversation below because this drama is far from over, and your opinion might be the one that sets off the next viral discussion. If you're still in shock over what we've discovered today, hit the like button and subscribe to stay up to date on all the shocking revelations that are coming your way. We've got more breaking news, in-depth analysis, and the latest drama. And I promise you won't want to miss a single update. Keep it locked until the next time. Stay tuned and be honest.